Facebook friends, my also to the uh, YouTube subscribers, and to my podcast listeners. Hello, this is Captain Mark here today. Just don't know why I felt like wearing my captain's hat. No. But we're doing a companion to episode 67, the companion video where I show the different records that I'm using during that episode. So it's going to be a good episode, I think. Pretty enjoyable. A lot of fun stuff on the show this week, or this particular episode. I probably will do this one tonight. Today's Tuesday. And then I will have another one out on Friday or Saturday. So let's get right into it. We start off with a trumpeter. And this is, I usually don't use this this particular label on a regular episode. These are more of kitschy kind of music that's on them, but this one seemed to be pretty enjoyable for a regular episode. This is on the London label, Phase 4 Stereo record. This is called The Spectacular Trumpet of Kenny Baker, and it is with the Roland Shaw Orchestra. Okay. And I do like these records very much. They have a good lamination on them, so they look very nice. They have obviously bright colors. This one here features purple and orange and white. You know, it really stands out. Nice picture of a trumpet here, the fingers playing it. On the back as well. It's kind of a neat sort of like a swirl here, and it's all black, you know. These are gatefolds, which means they open up. And this particular one features information about the Phase 4 process. Basically, they used 35 millimeter film. They were able to do a lot more tracks because the 35 millimeter film is a lot wider. So you could, it shows here 20 different channels. Then they had a mixer where they mixed it down and blended your different instruments to 4 channels: a left, a right, a left, and a right. They then recorded those 4 channels on regular magnetic tape, which they then used to make the record. So it's very interesting, and a lot of interesting. This is at a time where high fidelity was just coming around, stereo. They're still playing tricks with left and right channels and stuff like that. So, but it's good though. I enjoyed it. I think we took off this one, the Neil Hefti tune "Girl Talk." Okay. Then we had a vocal by Mr. Nat King Cole off of Capitol Records. The title of the album was Cole Espanol. And it's definitely supposed to be a Latin album. A lot of tunes on here that have that Latin feel to them. Maria Elena, Quizás, which stands for perhaps, perhaps, perhaps. But the particular tune that I actually ended up using is an Italian tune. I don't know who produced this. I actually do. It looks like Lee Gillette. Somehow he let it slip. I mean, it right here on the back. It says Nat King Cole sings Spanish, the language of the heart, to music recorded in romantic old Havana by Cuban leader conductor Armando Romero Jr. It's a fantastic departure inspired by the sounds of Cuba, by the rhythms of Mexico, by South America, the stirring expressions of the magic Cole style that needs no translation. But yet, Arrivederci Roma is Italian. But it's a pretty cool album, though. Like I said, I think that's the only mistake they made. That's definitely not. Arrivederci Roma is definitely not Spanish. And moving on, we're using a couple of records that we've used on other programs, other episodes. This one here is Al Gray, Basic Gray. It's a 2-record set, and this is on Chess Jazz Masters series. Really nice. I like Al Gray. He has a particular style of using his plunger mute, almost to creating a vocal sound from the, and then he plays very fun, friendly, upbeat tunes and everything when he does that, and it's very enjoyable to listen to. This particular one, I believe we used on Green Dolphin Street, or just Green Dolphin Street. Really good rendition of that tune, and it really brings a lot, I think, to the episode. Al Gray, great guy. Alright, then I actually was doing an episode of, it'll be coming up at some point, all Dexter Gordon show, completely Dexter Gordon from first song to the last. And so I had gotten this out because it does have Dexter Gordon and the All-Stars doing a couple of really, their key pieces of career that can't be overlooked when you're doing a retrospective of a person's career like that. So that was Dexter Gordon, The Chase, and The Duel. Those are 2 big ones where he does sort of duels, or they call it cutting heads at one time in the blues world. But Dexter Gordon and Teddy Edwards, and Dexter Gordon and Wardell Gray, 2 that are going at it, So and that's I got this out for that. But in the meantime, that's all only on side 2 of the album. On side 1, there's some wonderful tunes here by Milt Jackson on vibraphone and Howard McGee trumpet. The other players in the group are James Moody, tenor saxophone, Hank Jones piano, Ray Brown bass, and J.C. Hurd on drums. And we're actually going to be using a tune here called Night Mist. So this is from, it's actually kind of weird. It's the Hall of Fame label, and the series of records are called Jazz Greats. And the actual title of the record is Something Special. And like I said, side 1, the Milt Jackson Howard McGee Sextet. Side 2, Dexter Gordon All-Stars. And it's a really nice shape. Still has the plastic on it. I only got it for $1.99. I was really happy to find that for that price. Moving on, we're gonna do the next record here is Decca Records, and these are two guys here that play Spanish music, but they're prominently known for 2 different Spanish styles. But when they came together to play, it was just beautiful. I think you'll really enjoy the tune that we have from them. Trumpet player Rafael Mendez, and guitar player Lorindo Almeida. And Rafael plays Mexican primarily, and Lorindo is primarily known as a bossa nova or samba from Brazil. But the album is called Together, and again, it's on the Decca label. This is a really nice one. I'm not sure. I don't remember what I paid for it, but I got it on eBay, and I was really happy when it came because it's in great shape. It has the plastic on it, you know, the replacements, and it also has, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the original inner sleeve. Let me just check. Yep, there's your Decca inner sleeve. So really happy with it. Great shape. It sounds wonderful, and like I said, I think everybody will really enjoy the number that I took off this. It's actually called Bossa Romantica. It's a great tune. And I will play, I'm going to be playing some other tunes from this, I think on a Latin episode, Latin dance party episode, and maybe even another regular episode. Alright, moving on, we're doing now, this one here is a Mercury Records album, and this is the special Perfect Presence Sound Stereo series that they came out with. Also referred to as the F35D. But this is Impressions of Duke Ellington, arranged and conducted by Billy Byers. Beautiful record. This one actually I got at a particular store. They had bargain bins, 79 cents each, or 2 for $1, and I always came away with an even number. So I paid basically 50 cents for this album. And on the back it has a little write-up of all the different songs, and it even talks about the 35 millimeter style of recording, which we already just mentioned. But it even has a little diagram here. It shows, you know, the way the orchestra was set up in the studio, where the microphones were located in the studio as well. So you could get a sense of, you know, these guys were serious high fidelity freaks and wanted to make sure that everything was just as perfect as it could be for the best sound possible. On the inside, again, it talks about this particular F35D recording style. It talks about how to set up your stereo for the best sound. You know, it shows how the channels in, channels out, how they mixed it and everything. Really in depth. But 35 millimeter magnetic film really changed the recording process at that time, and you know, this was cutting edge at the time. Now it's like, what? It's not digital. It's not cool, but it is actually. It's even better if you ask me. So, all right. Moving on, a vocal. We one of our favorites here on A Little Night Music, Mr. Mel Torme, and this is actually probably was the other one that I got with that one, because it's one of the 2 for $1 that I just mentioned. But this is a compilation on Verve. They're called Verve's Choice. It's the best of Mel Torme, and this is a pretty familiar looking cover. There's the series, the Verve's Choice series, all use the same sort of looking cover. We have South of the Border, Perfidia, Just in Time, Take the A Train, which is actually, well, let me think now. Nope. On the Street Where You Live, Blue Moon, That Old Feeling, Too Close for Comfort, Moonlight in Vermont, the Christmas song, which he's famous for having written, and You and the Night and the Music. I thought we used Take the A Train because we do have a version of that on the show, but the Mel Torme that we used was On the Street Where You Live. Okay, that's what the back looks like. Nice write-up about Mr. Torme. Again, they show here some of the other covers: Ella Fitzgerald, Gene Krupa, Louis Armstrong, Count Basie. These Verve's Choice were really nice. Then we have here, and this one I actually purchased used at a record store, but it was still sealed, never opened. It was virgin vinyl in the used section. You gotta love when you find that. The reason why, because I didn't pay full price for it, but still, I'm the first listener. So this is Art Farmer on the Road, and it is a original jazz classics. And then it was originally on the Contemporary Records label. In the back, some nice pictures of the group. Playing in the group were obviously only flugelhorn by Mr. Farmer this time. Art Pepper on alto sax, Hampton Haas piano, Ray Brown bass, Steve Ellington drum, and also Shelly Mann drums, playing a couple different tunes there. And we actually used My Funny Valentine, the Richard Rodgers and Lorenz Hart tune. There we go. Alright, moving on. Last but not least is a gentleman on this particular record that I absolutely love. I should mention he was actually on a couple other records. We're actually doing. I have it was from a digital download that I had before. I used earlier, Dinah Washington, that we're going to be using in the show, and he was on that, and he was also on the Billy Byer Duke Ellington record as well. One of my favorite flugelhorn players, trumpet players. He's also a vocalist, educator, an arranger, just an all-around great guy. Unfortunately, he's passed. The world misses him. Mr. Clark Terry, and he's on this record with Buddy Tate. It's called Tate a Tate, and it is originally, excuse me, it is originally a Swingville, Prestige Swingville release, but this is an original jazz classic reissue. Still great. I have actually used this particular record on a couple other programs, and I think we're done. I think I've used the last tune that I can off of this, and as a matter of fact, it is the last tune that's on the record too. Take the A Train, the classic Ellington tune. So there we go. And again, this is in great shape. I bought this on. No, I did. Did I? Yes. I think I bought this on eBay, and I was really surprised to find that the seller is a local guy, because this is a record store that just recently closed here in the area, Record Theater. So that's the way it works sometimes. Sometimes you buy things online and find out it comes right from your own backyard. But so that's the companion video for the episode number 67, I believe it is. And I hope it's a great episode. I hope you enjoy listening to it, and tell your friends all about it. They can come watch these crazy videos that I'm doing and listen to the episode, and maybe they'll get some enjoyment out of it too. Alright, have a good one. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.